Welcome back, Wildcat hockey fans. The Tucson Arena is your University of Arizona Wildcats take on the University of Utah Utes on this Thursday evening. Thank you so much to everyone for joining in on the live broadcast. If you get a chance, we would love to have you experience Wildcat hockey in person if you can make it here at the TCC. For their second season, all games for the women's team are entirely free, and we encourage you to come on down to downtown Tucson and be part of this groundbreaking atmosphere. I'm Brooke Barker, joined by
Rosemary James Stewart.
Rosemary. With this first game back at home in the new year, how are the Wildcats looking?
Brooke, I've got a lot to say about this team. They look really good coming into the new year, but before I say too much, let's get down to the ice and get set for our starting lineups.
For your Cats, at center, a history ed major, number 12, Layla Schultz. Starting right wing, a nutritional science major, number 9, Brittany Bridell. Starting left wing, a business management major, number 10, Allison Brady. Starting defense on the right, a bio major, number 48, Rylan Pesca. Defense on the left, a health tech major, number 94, Savannah Allen. And in between the pipes, protector of the mesh, a bio major, your starting goalie, number 1, Olivia Sorley. Starting lineup is supported by the rest of the U of A Wildcats. Wildcats are coached by Caitlin Hogan, Alan Book, and Brett Bridell. At this time, fans, if you are able, please rise and remove your hat for the playing of our national anthem.
Brooke, as the Wildcats open up their first game here at home in the 2026 year, they're looking like the same gritty, fundamental, hard-playing team that they were last year. They made a pickup over the break. They picked up number 25, Tatum Provencher, who we're going to keep an eye on tonight, see how she's faring with those new, when you add a new player, there's always you always have to work on that chemistry and lines and figuring out where she's going to fit on that team. But other than that, this is the same team we saw last semester. They're going to play hard. They're going to put pucks on net. And most importantly, they're backed by a stellar supporting cast of Olivia Sorley and Peyton Planetta, two fantastic goalies, 17 games played between them, and they're both sporting nearly a .930 average with saves. This is a team that doesn't have a lot of glaring issues, and they're only stronger now that they got a couple pickups in the offseason.
Absolutely, Rosemary. Completely agree. And in a situation like this with Utah, they have lost now twice in Utah. Coming into this, what do you think U of A is looking for here?
I mean, this is a team that thrives off of momentum. If they can get a hot start, that's how the game is going to go. If they start off hot, they're going to take the lead, and the game might just be a blowout. But if they're going to struggle here in the first period, it's a much harder place to be in, to fight out of that hole rather than starting ahead. I want to see a really strong start. I want to see some really gritty plays. I don't want to see any turnovers for the first 5 minutes. They need to play a strong, convincing first period that they can take into the rest of the game.
Absolutely, Rosemary.
Arizona wins the opening faceoff. They'll send it to the boards. Quick turnover right at the beginning. 2-on-2, quick shot there, gloved by Sorley. Call it the announcer's curse, but the Cats give up a turnover off of a faceoff win in the first 11 seconds of the game. Arizona puts some pressure in on the faceoff. Quick shot there. Careens past Sorley. A little bit of motion on the near boards. They can't get the puck away from Utah, but a nice little move there keeps the Utes out of a possession. Arizona and Utah going back and forth. Great poke check there by Pesca to get it out. Rydell had it for a second, but now it's right back with Utah. Quick chip in there. Pass across. Cut off in traffic. Arizona trying to make some space for themselves, get some room to make a pass or make any real play. And they'll send it the other way, go get a change, and Utah has to recollect. Nice little play there. Looks like a Ute lost the puck a little bit. Arizona's on offense now. Can't hold on to it, though. They'll have to head the other way. Arizona picks it up in their own D zone. Pass across into open ice to hit Verderber. Verderber backhand pass sends it behind the net. Quick little chip pass there. Verderber over the first blue line. She'll go over the second with ease. Quick shot there. Blocker save. Arizona along the far boards. Great stick work there. They'll go back and forth. Utah gets two great poke checks back to back to keep possession away from Arizona. A little bit of a battle there. They might just call it offsides.
Rosemary, looking at these beautiful new jerseys we have for your University of Arizona Wildcats, these are going to be the Los Gatos jerseys here. So apologize if the names are a little off here. It's no names on the jerseys this go around. If you want to get one for yourself, if you check out the University of Arizona Wildcats women's hockey team website, you can get one of these jerseys for yourself. They're really sweet. To be so honest with you, there's a lot of really cool decals and like smaller details that you can't really see from this far away, but really, really cool. Definitely recommend checking that out.
They're absolutely gorgeous on the ice. They're such great jerseys, in fact, that I don't entirely mind not being able to see all the names, even though makes my job a little more difficult. Quick pass there, tried to center it. Utah picks it up. They're into the neutral zone. Great poke check there. Puck is fought away. Utah back to collect. McKegg putting on the pressure. Little scrum there along the near boards. Puck comes out to the Wildcats. Schultz puts one on net. Gets a shot off, but it comes off of some pads. Now here's Rydell. Looking for a pass, can't quite connect. Great work there by Brady. She makes two great stick moves to try and keep possession. Great pass across, but nobody in the slot. Pesca, quick shot there, sent just wide. Allen got her stick on it, but couldn't quite break up the play. Rydell will, though. It'll be back for icing, and Arizona will get a face-off in the O-zone. Utah face-off win. They'll have it along the near boards. Little back and forth. Neither team can get a good handle on it. The home crowd lays into the scrum. Howell dishes it out. Delayed offsides. Forces the Cats to give it up. Another icing will give them another offensive face-off. Brooke, what have you seen so far out of both of these teams? How does this momentum and the pace of play look so far?
Yeah, I mean, both teams are kind of midway in when you're looking at the stats here. Both teams do really well under pressure. Definitely seeing a lot of good, strong moves and points from, not points, but like moves from each team. But we definitely kind of need to see a strength in that, or a jump, I guess, in that momentum.
Yeah.
especially from your Wildcats. The amount of turnovers we've seen in the last, 3 minutes and 40 seconds has been like a little bit too much.
Both teams play really well under pressure, like you were saying, Brooke, but they're just not generating that pressure. They're not playing fast enough. They're not giving themselves momentum. And so right now, they're playing a little bit slower. They're playing a little bit sloppier. Both teams need to tighten up, play faster, and allow themselves to create more opportunities. Quick shot there. Pad save by Sorley. Carson tries to pave the way for herself. Puck is loose, slips into the Arizona defensive zone, and they'll collect it. Tough little play, leaves Verderber with the puck. She'll dish it across. Here's Howell. She'll flip it ahead to McKegg. Can't quite find her. Utah has a chance in the neutral zone. Pass ahead. Quick little chop shot there. No chance in the world. Sorley takes care of it cleanly.
We're seeing a lot of back and forth and not a lot of offensive zone possession from either team here, which obviously for a defensive perspective, that's really great to see. But I want to see some more shots from our Wildcats here.
I want to see, exactly, you want to see teams throw shots, get the rebound, keep going, and build up that offensive pressure, slowly wear your goalie down until you can get a good shot off. It seems like right now both teams are settling with bad shots, take another face-off, go the other way, lose possession. It's very disorganized and doesn't allow either team to get any real offensive pressure. But of course, the goalies play a large part in that by collecting these rebounds. We've seen the way Sorley's played tonight. She's gloved just about everything she's seen, and everything she hasn't, she's covered up. Not allowing the Utes to build up pressure on her gives her a lot more room and opportunity to make good saves. Cats coming the other way. Brady beats her mark. Cross-ice pass. Can't find anybody after a gem in the slot. Quick chip shot there. Flips out of the glove. A huge opportunity there. And a beautiful play by Miranda D. Antunano. Spreads out and makes the save. Absolutely beautiful save.
Absolutely. Kind of taking a look at that for the Wildcats. Brittany Bridell was right there in the slot and could have just dished it there, but she did have a woman on her there, and wasn't able to get in the slot, but really good setup there.
If there's anyone you want in the slot, it's Bridell. She's got 6 goals and 14 assists this season for 20 points. That's second for your Wildcats. Bridell has been a huge part of this offensive playmaking, and I'm sure that's not the last we'll be seeing of her tonight. Utah collects in their own zone. Quick pass there with a little too much sauce on it. Arizona will pick it up. Quick flip across, but can't exactly find the person they're looking for. Breakaway opportunity, backhand pass, just can't connect. Beautiful opportunity there, but a sloppy pass means Utah gives it up. Arizona is going to have a chance now. Quick shot in on the slot. Sorley says no. Now from the blue line, here's Utah. Pass down low, back to the blue line. Quick shot there. A deflection in traffic sent just too high. And they'll call it dead and take a face-off. I liked what we saw there from Utah right at the end before the face-off. Playing it high, down low, go back behind the net, dish it out into the center. You know, a lot of that puck movement is harder to play for defenders, and when you can't keep offensive pressure, you have to trip up the defenders and make some room for yourself. The chances aren't just going to appear. You have to have that puck movement. Great work there by the Cats to break up that opportunity. Utah gets a slow change. Arizona chips it into the O-zone. Chasing after it is Kenzie Carson, Arizona's point leader. Picking it up is McKegg. McKegg, nice little deke move, backhand shot, pad save by D'Antunano.
Great move from McKegg there.
Keg really beat her defender, burned her bad, but just couldn't get the shot off the way she wanted. D'Antunano, huge hit there in open ice. They're going to call it on Arizona, and we'll see the Wildcats' first penalty kill of the night.
Yeah, I think this is a great time to kind of show off your special teams here, and kind of this is when you need to kind of kick that momentum into high gear. This is the perfect opportunity to kind of start getting some really good shots on goal, some good looks, and hopefully we'll see a great goal here.
In hockey, your penalty kill unit is your strongest, your grittiest, your most defensive-minded players, and I think getting them out on the ice, working together, and maybe getting something going on the other end. We've seen the Wildcats before. They don't shy away.
Number 61, Grace McKeag, 2 minutes for body checking.
McKeag gets the call for body checking, and Arizona's already diffused one play. Looking for a shorty. Quick chip in there. Stick check by D'Antunano. Puck back behind the net. Arizona playing 2 up on the forecheck.
For those who may not be completely up to date with the ACHA women's hockey rules, while body checking is legal in men's as well as in professional standards, for the ACHA women's programs, body checking is a penalty. It's just a 2-minute minor, but it still is seen as a penalty, especially in a situation like that where you're in kind of that open ice area. The puck was near them, but it wouldn't be quantified enough to consider it like getting her off the puck there.
I think even in the men's game, that would be considered a dicey hit, one that might send you to the box. And in women's hockey, with how they call body checking, they're absolutely going to call that. Utah wins the faceoff. They'll get 3 over into the O-zone. Quick pass back. 2 back-to-back passes keeps Utah in the possession. But Arizona playing hard on the forecheck. Quick pass there off the skates. They'll catch an edge, give Arizona a second. Utah moving the puck. Cross ice pass just barely broken up. Quick shot there off the body of Verderber. Can't dish it out. Utah gets another chance, but this U of A penalty kill is playing really gritty, not allowing any chances at all. Pass across, quick shot there off the stick of Pesca. Arizona ends up with it, and they'll send it the other way to burn off just about the rest. 15 seconds left on this penalty kill as Arizona gets off relatively easy.
That was really, really good defensive play there. We kind of talked about it at the beginning of the penalty kill there, but with a move like that, it's really important to show your defensive prowess, and team nailed it there.
I love the forecheck out of that penalty kill. I mean, they are not afraid of leaving anyone open at all. They'll double team, they'll play aggressive, they'll push the players as far ahead as they can. If that means, you know, you're leaving open a good look by the slot, oh well, you're generating enough pressure that it doesn't matter, because the person with possession of the puck has nowhere to put it. They're under way too much pressure. I really like that from Arizona. Quick shot there. Standing blocker save from D'Antunano. Arizona had a chance. The centered puck, but just couldn't quite hold on to it. Utah's trying to head the other way. Some great stick work there. Keeps possession with the Wildcats. Cats dump it in, go for a change. Utah behind the net. Little pass ahead. Nice little behind the back pass, just doesn't quite work out for them. Centering pass there, broken up by Arizona. They can't quite hold possession to get it going the other way. Carson has it back behind the net. She'll try and dish it out. Utah comes up with it, but a great poke check there. Keeps things alive. Neither team really has had any opportunity to make a convincing play either way. Just a lot of back and forth so far. Thompson flips it out to Carson. Pass up ahead. Howell makes a nice move. Breaks into the zone, but way offside as she tried to get around Utah's defense. Great work there by Utah to block the zone, force Howell to go out and around and get that offsides call.
Rosemary, we had kind of talked about it before the broadcast here, but these teams are very much evenly matched when it comes to both their offense and their defense. We kind of talked how we thought there would be kind of this back and forth that we're seeing right now, and not as many as like super, super strong looks here, but I think U of A can really turn this around and really show their momentum here.
It's really anybody's game right now. The teams are both going back and forth. I just want to see either team get a really good look in. Seems like nobody's gotten, 2 shots in a row. And just here it is. Here's a breakaway opportunity. Broken up with ease. Arizona flashes the skates a little bit, and they're headed the other way. A little bit of bowling action gives Arizona the puck for just a second. They'll dump it and go for a change. Pass, cross-ice pass there from Utah, just a little too much on it. Pesca has it, can't quite hold on to it. It'll slip out, give it to Allen. Allen can't hold on to it under too much pressure. Quick shot there through traffic, Shorley doesn't see it! And Utah lights the lamp 1-0.
That really was not on Sorley at all. That was just really, really an unfortunate look there. Through all the legs and through the traffic, she did slow it down, but unfortunately wasn't able to completely stop it there.
So far tonight, it just seems like that traffic is becoming to be a little too much for Sorley. There's been a couple looks tonight where she's had 3 or 4 players right in front of the crease. She doesn't see the puck coming until too late. There was a look earlier this game where it just glanced off her pads like she didn't even see it. I think that's just about what happened there. You don't see it until it's coming too late. She thought she had it, but just no one there to cover it right off the crease.
Utah goal scored by number 5, Sonia Charman.
Arizona had an opportunity going the other way. Back behind the net. Arizona just barely holds on to it. Charman gets the goal for the Utes. That's her 9th on the year.
Charman is the top goal scorer for the Utah Utes.
Now is. Before that, she was tied with Zeshuk at 8 goals a pop. But now she convincingly takes the lead with 9 goals. She's one of those players you need to watch out for. Not only is she the leading goal scorer, she's leading the team in points. One of those players who, if there's a chance, she's there.
Absolutely,
Utah,
with 21 points for the season and now 9 goals with 13 assists.
Utah had a chance there going from low to high, but no one there to help complete the play. Here's Arizona along the near boards. Utah gets it. Making a little bit of space for themselves. Back to the blue line. 1T deflected out in front, looks like by Howell. Utah's going to try it again. Back to the blue line. Quick shot in off of even more traffic. You almost start to feel bad for Sorley. It feels like every shot that's coming her way ends up off of, a body or a stick out in front. It makes it really hard to make what should be routine plays because there's just so much movement up in front of the crease. Can't really tell what's going on. And in plays like where we saw that goal scored earlier, she can't be expected to read that because there's been rebounds and deflections all tonight. Quick pass ahead by Sadanen. Can't quite make it work. Utah headed the other way. Great work there by Schultz. Avoids the hooking call and comes away with the puck. Utah keeps possession behind their own net. Looking for a lane through, pass ahead. Picked up by the Wildcats. Back that way, 2-on-2 opportunity broken up pretty convincingly by the Utes. Arizona's going to have to recollect right off the bench. Here's Pesca. She'll chip it in. It'll float back behind the net. Utah couldn't keep track of it. Arizona, a strange pass up through center ice. They'll keep possession in the O-zone. Out through net, cross ice pass. Had an opportunity there, but D'Antunano covers it up. And perhaps the feistiest Wildcat, McKegg, might get a little bit of a talking to there as she verbally lit up a Ute. And she will be vindicated. And it seems like Slack might have said something there that the ref didn't like. An ejection, maybe?
Perhaps here. There was a little bit of roughness after the play. It looks like it's going to be an ejection.
An ejection just 14 minutes into the game. Seems like she had some words to share with the ref. Didn't like his call, didn't like that McKegg didn't get offsetting, and so she'll take an early leave for tonight.
We'll see if she comes back, or
I think she's gone.
Well, yeah, it couldn't even be a 5-minute major. Oh no, they're giving her 2 minutes, but
we'll have to hear the call here down on the ice.
Looks like an ejection and a penalty.
For unsportsmanlike conduct. Clara also received a game misconduct, and she is out of the game. Serving is number 19, Sophia Garon.
2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct for whatever happened with McKegg. And then now she'll get the game misconduct. Won't see her again tonight. Really interesting call this early in the game. Pass across, Arizona through the O-zone, offsides. Imagine if you're McKegg in that situation, got to do a little fist pump. You know, it's not often you get to
especially if you know McKegg, you know her penalty minutes, and
she fights hard. Like, she is a player who really cares about this game. Her passion is constantly oozing out. She's just constantly, if there's action on the ice, she's involved in it some way, somehow.
Taking a look at number 2, Clara Slack's stats here, it is 20 penalty minutes. She has the most penalty minutes for her team by far, I'll tell you that much.
20 minutes and 17 games played. That'll skyrocket tonight with their game misconduct. Quick shot there, didn't quite make it on goal. 4 minutes left to play in this first period as Utah leads by 1. Arizona got to make something happen here at the end of the second period. You don't want to come out of the locker room in the hole. Looks like it's Maine trying to hold on to it. Couldn't keep it along the boards. Verderber gets a stick on it. Arizona's got to come all the way back and recollect. Sorley comes out, leaves it for Brady. Brady pass up ahead, finds Howell. Howell struggles to control it for a second, but it's back to Brady. Brady and Carson over the blue line together. Here's Carson. Quick shot off of a body out in front. Now here's McKegg herself. Passes it up ahead to Allen behind the net. Allen, quick shot on goal. Gets it in the crease. We're back to full strength. Arizona gets a second to think about it. Looked like a pass there. It was a little too wide to be a shot. Carson looking to get a pass in the slot, just can't find anybody. Cross ice pass there, great opportunity. Sorley knocked off her laurels for a second. It looks like she covers it up. Great work there by Sorley. I mean, it looked like she caught an edge as she went from post to post to get over. But Thompson gonna take a sit as Utah will go on their second power play of the night.
kind of definitely seeing the fires being lit here here in the first. Hopefully, it kind of leads to some motivation for these Wildcats to kind of get some looks and get some shots here.
I mean, it looks like it already has, coming right off of that penalty, off of the ejection. The Cats looked way more fired up. They got some actual, like, convincing looks, but it looks like Thompson, 2 minutes for cross-checking, gonna put Arizona on the penalty kill.
Penalty, number 16, Sophie Thompson, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Wildcats are on the penalty kill.
Wildcats looking for the shorty. Nice little self-pass, looking for the cross ice, can't find it. But Schultz keeps the pressure up. Howell cuts it off. Accidentally gives it right back to Utah. Great poke check there by Lily Schultz. Layla Schultz, excuse me. Utah struggling to get any convincing pressure here as Arizona's crazy on this penalty kill. Nice little stick work there by Zeshuk. Puck comes out. Not so lucky, though, as Arizona has it. They'll send it cross ice. Just a minute left in this power play. Coming east to west fast. The Utes just couldn't hold on to that pressure. Carson beats her mark to the puck. Cross ice pass. Couldn't quite connect with Pesca there. Utah comes up with it along the far boards. Utah in through the zone under too much pressure. Here's Brady. Couldn't quite shake him. Utah has it. Just 20 seconds left on their power play. Back to the blue line and back down low. Quick chip shot there, tied up by Brady. And Arizona comes out with it. Still shorthanded for the next 9 seconds. Verderber, a nice move, quick shot, sent just wide. But Arizona gonna keep possession as they go full strength. Weak shot there, broken up pretty easily. But Allen keeps it on sides. Allen chipped it out, but Utah got a hold of it. Pass there, we'll send it for icing. Arizona will get a nice little face-off. Came right back at the net, so Sorley took a hold of it. Even strength for these last 30 seconds. Here comes Thompson. Over the blue line with McKegg. Pass it back. It's behind the net. Puck is loose. So much traffic in front. Here's Maine. Maine, quick shot, just way too much traffic. 3 Wildcats all in front of the crease, single file. Big trip there, the rest aren't convinced. 3 seconds left. Utah won't get a shot off, and that'll be it for period number 1.
We'll be back to bring you the second period shortly. I'm Brooke Barker.
And I'm Rosemary James Stewart.
And this is Wildcat Hockey. Welcome back, Wildcat hockey fans, to Tucson Arena for your second period. Currently, the Utah Utes are up 1-0.
Brooke, tell me a little bit about what you've seen out of the Cats and what they have to do to come back and get back in this game down 1-0.
I think kind of in the second half of the first period there, we definitely saw kind of a momentum shift for the Wildcats, definitely kind of seeing the fire lit there. And I think this is where they really need to kind of capitalize that. We kind of talked about this, again, we've talked about this a lot. Coming out extremely strong here in the first few minutes here of the second. I think that really will change the tide here of this second period. And I think I would like to see that.
I agree entirely. The first period, I mean, that second half, they played really hard, and I liked a lot of what I saw. But for the first half of that first period, they just didn't have a really strong start. They gave up a couple penalties, and they didn't look like the team you wanted to see. Going into the second, after that first penalty kill, I mean, they started to look good. After the ejection, I mean, they were rocking and rolling. I think that's the pace they need to come out with for this second period. Come out hard, come out swinging, and get a point on the board. Arizona with a contentious face-off win. Allen's going to dump it. A little bit of back and forth behind the Utah net. Arizona has it in the O-zone. Pesca skating around. Errant pass there, doesn't find anybody. A little bit of friendly fire along the near boards. Gets the puck in a Wildcat paws. Brooke, who, if anyone tonight, have you seen outstanding play from? Is there any player that you think we should keep our eye on for the rest of this game?
I feel like we've seen a couple really good looks from Alana Main as well as Brittany Bridell, and I think kind of that both of them are definitely people that I would want to look out for there.
Absolutely. I think, Bridell had a really good look there in the first period, and Maine's been shooting the puck a lot more than we're used to seeing from her. And I think both of those players together, there's some real opportunities there. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them scored tonight. Great pass there by Carson. Couldn't quite get picked up. Another player on the Cats who I think has been phenomenal tonight, Grace McKegg. I mean, she's kind of the heart of this team.
Absolutely.
She plays so passionately.
I feel like I say every time you ask me that question, I answer Grace McKegg. So I was trying to think
She's
of
so
someone
fun
else.
to watch. She really is. You hear announcers all the time call players electric, but McKegg is electric. She puts electricity into the blood of this team. She's the reason they keep going. You saw it in that first period after she managed to draw a crazy ejection from another player. You want that kind of person to goad that out of your opponents, and McKegg's the one who does it. Speaking of which, McKegg over the blue line. Quick shot there, right into the pads. Rebound not quite swallowed up by D'Antonano. She'll get the cover eventually, and will take a face-off in the O-zone. Speaking of D'Antonano, she's another player who had a stellar first period, made two really good saves near the beginning of that first period, and she's been rock solid tonight. Allen off the face-off. Pass up ahead to McKegg. McKegg tried to find the angle, almost went 5-hole. Puck still loose, just barely covered up.
Little bit as we say, fire. Definitely seeing some stuff going on in front of the net here, and looks like
Get a pair of offsetting.
Setting penalties here, which will mean 4-on-4 hockey.
I say this every time we go to 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 hockey. As a goalie, there is nothing scarier than losing a player. One less player means one less chance for the puck to get stopped. Even when you're even when it's 4-on-4, neither team has an advantage. It's still scarier for the goalie because
Less bodies
typically,
in front there.
if you manage to get, that convincing look, you have that extra player to take care of it. When you're on 4-on-4, if they get a good look, that means a lot more than in 5-on-5. Speaking of good looks, great pass down low by McKegg. Puck back behind the net. Quick shot there off the mask of D'Antunano. Goes all the way for an icing.
The official call for the penalties is going to be roughing for both. Roughing is typically given, it's a minor penalty, which means it's going to be 2 minutes typically, and it's a minor physical altercations. There's not like a full
hard and fast definition.
Yeah, but it's kind of just that push and that shove, kind of that altercation look that we kind of saw there with the extracurriculars in front of the net.
You hate to use the phrase, but you know it when you see it. If you see roughing, you know it's roughing. It's kind of at, the discretion of the stripes. If they want to call it, it's usually used in kind of a game management way. If you see that some unacceptable physicality, you can always lean back on the roughing. In Waxenberg's case there, just getting a little too rough in the crease. The refs didn't like it, and they'll get offsetting. 1 minute of 4-on-4 left. Cats have to take advantage of this while they have it. They're great when they're down 1, 5-on-4 on the penalty kill. If they can just take the same energy they have on the PK into this 4-on-4, I think they could have a real shot at scoring here. Neither team has converted on the special teams units tonight, in large part due to Arizona's super great penalty kill units and lackluster power play unit so far tonight. But, we're only 20 minutes into this game of hockey. It remains to be seen whether they keep that energy up. Great pass there. Down past the blue line. Here's Carson. One good move. Quick shot there. Sent just wide. Great move there by Carson. There's a reason she's the #1 point scorer on the Wildcats. Great pass there to center it by Verderber. She'll keep it behind the net. Pass it down, not enough on it. Ends up with Utes. 2-on-1 opportunity, developing into 3-on-1. Cross ice pass there, Sorley all alone. Whiffs on it, looked like. And Arizona's gonna get to have it the other way.
Both teams back to full strength here.
Arizona gonna have it behind the net. Brady's gonna try for a saucy little backhand pass on the spin, but can't quite make it work. Here's Utah in the O-zone. Centering pass broken up by Arizona. Wildcats have it down low. Some great moves there. Quick shot there. Taken care of nice and cleanly by Olivia Sorley. Looks like it was Zeshuk, the second leading point scorer for the Utes, to get that shot. And again, it's no wonder she's up there in the upper echelon of her team. A great look. She makes a nice little silky mitt move to get a clear shot. Just can't find the open net. 3-on-2. Cats. Great pass there. Broken up, though. That was broken up by Utah's Aspen Edwards. Great defensive play to stop a really neat opportunity for Arizona. Puck all the way back. Sorley takes it off the pads. Here's Allen. Allen shakes one. Pass across. Back to Allen. Allen's going to give it to Pesca all the way up to Schultz. Schultz can't quite hold on to it. Going to take some pressure on the near boards. Tries to dish it out. Utah gets it. Quick shot there, sent just wide. Sorley has to gather. Puck down low on the boards. Here's Allen fighting for it. Backhand pass. Finds Maine. Maine under pressure, gives it up. Utah from the blue line, pass to nobody in particular. Bunch of back and forth. Here's Maine. Back to Allen. And now to Pesca. Pesca can't hold on to it. Utah centering. pass, quick shot there. Sorley can't cover it. It's back to the blue line. Utah not able to capitalize on a great look, and Sorley gloves it to end the possession.
Fantastic move by Sorley there. We talk about Sorley a lot in kind of the cool, calm, defensive goalie there. Obviously defensive goalie. But really great to see when there's that many bodies in the way and kind of that much clutter there in the front that she's able to keep it calm and keep it moving there.
It's always the worry after a high-risk offensive situation like that your goalie's just not going to have their head in the game. It's stressful, and after, fighting off something like that, I mean, it was almost an open net opportunity. Sorley really had to fight to get back in the crease. Had enough time to recollect, make a nice little glove move, and save her team from going down 2-0. McCagg dishes it. Couldn't quite find anybody she wanted, but made a physical impact. Utah near boards. Nobody can quite keep possession. Here's Arizona. Skating over the blue line, tries to make a move. Not enough. Pass there, finds a Ute. Arizona, quick chip shot there. Poke check by D'Antonano. Great little poke check between the legs there. D'Antonano forced to cover it up under pressure. Interesting little tidbit about D'Antonano. Really likes to go deep in her bag and get that poke check out. Not as comfortable gloving it or covering it like Sorley does. I think the Wildcats need to take advantage of that. Watch her do the poke check and just beat the Utes to the puck and see if they can get something off there.
Absolutely. Kind of, obviously, goalies have different methods to the madness, and I think this is kind of one where you need to start reading your opposing goalie, and kind of learn which moves are kind of on the weaker end to kind of capitalize on more.
Quick shot there, batted down by D'Antonano. It's like in baseball when a pitcher's tipping their pitches, you don't have to capitalize them. You have a fair chance otherwise, but sure would be helpful. Glancing blow to Sorley, just comes off. Real opportunity there. Here's Carson. Burns one, but mixed up and gets the interference call, so Arizona can go back on the power play. Great work there by Carson. I don't know if that was as egregious of an interference as you kind of expect to see when you get a call like that, but it was enough that Arizona gets some 5-on-4.
In hockey, interference is typically seen as a penalty, a minor penalty that's called when a player impedes an opponent not in possession of the puck. This typically means kind of a little bit of a roughing look when they're not in possession. So it's kind of just a little bit. It looks unnecessary from the ref perspective there.
If you can't make a play on the puck, you're considered out of the play and thus not eligible to have a physical play made against you. That hit against her, she had no way of getting to the puck at that point. Really was just out of the play. Not a great hit, but it did come just right after the play. One of those that could go, either way, but comes out in Carson's favor. And Arizona gets about a minute and a half left of power play action. Over the blue line, here come the Cats. Dished back to Schultz. From the blue line. Thompson to Schultz. Schultz, cross ice. Almost found Bridell. Bridell always looking for a deflection, just couldn't get it this time. Minute left to go. Here's Verderber back behind the net. Pass ahead. Great pass there, hits Pesca. Pesca makes a move, can't quite hold on to it. Looking for anybody to help alleviate the pressure. Great pass across to Carson, just too much juice. Carson couldn't grab it. It's gonna come all the way back to Sorley, and Sorley's gonna give it to Verderber. Verderber under pressure. Dishes it to Carson. Carson gives it away, quick shot there, Sorley pad save. Pass all the way ahead. Found Sadanen, ended up with Verderber. Verderber back to the blue line. Pesca, quick shot there, sent wide. Carson, backhand flip. Centering pass there, broken up by Utah, and a great clear from the Utes. As we are back to even strength, neither team has converted on the power play tonight. Both teams 0 for 2. Pretty even penalties so far. Here's Allen on the blue line, quick flip, sent high, looking for the deflection. The puck is just not there. Barely skates past the posts. And the Cats are gonna get another shot to try and put something together. From down low, quick pass to the blue line, kept on sides, quick shot there. Sadanen bullied out of possession. Here's Allen. Savannah Allen flips it out. Tic-tacking between both teams. Utah comes out with it. 9 minutes left. Utah's still up by 1. Not a good pass there. Finds Maine. Maine breaks it up and lets Allen get through the zone. Allen, way too much coverage to make a shot. Nice centering pass through the crease, but nobody there to capitalize on it. Here come the Utes. McKeague puts on the pressure. Arizona back to collect, back behind the net. Both teams have had a lot of back and forth tonight. Brooke, what's missing? Why can't either of these teams take the lead convincingly and get something good going?
I think it's one of those things where both teams have the capability to kind of come ahead and to, well, like, keep the fire going on an offensive standpoint. I think you just have to not be better sounds so mean, but just.
But it's true. You're capable of that. You have to push past what you're doing right now and just be better.
And both teams have the opportunity to be better than the other, and I think that's just where you need that extra push. Looks like we're going to be in the penalty kill for your Wildcats with, I believe it's number 18.
19,
16.
I think.
Thompson in the box.
Oh, Thompson.
You have a penalty number 19, Glover. 2 minutes, slashing.
Glover gets the call for slashing. Didn't quite catch that one, but that puts Utah on their 3rd power play of the night. Utah, their power play has steadily improved over the course of this game. They look good right now. They're getting that puck movement, making moves where they need to. Quick shot there, swallowed up by Sorley. I like what I'm seeing from Utah right now. They're doing the puck movement. They're forcing Arizona to shake up their own defenders. That's what you want to see. That's how you convert on the power play. They need to keep that momentum up. Weak shot there. Arizona might get a chance to clear it. Not enough. Little scrum along the near boards. Here's Verderber back behind the net. She'll flip it ahead. Not enough on it. Here comes Schultz. She's trying to get it for a one-on-one opportunity, but just not fast enough. Backhand pass hits a Ute. Utah couldn't quite clear the blue line cleanly. And Arizona is going to flip it the other way to burn some time off of this power play. Just 55 seconds left. Arizona heavy on the forecheck. And offsides the call. Arizona doing a great job at keeping up with the pressure that Utah's mounting. Glover's got about 45 seconds left in the box. Utah face-off win. Some pressure here, but a nice takeaway by Pesca. She'll flip it all the way into the other zone. Force Utah to reconnect. D'Antonano gives it straight to Carson, who's going to burn some more time. Arizona putting on the pressure, sends 2. 2-on-1, quick shot there, and it skates past Sorley. Utah up 2-0. Brooke, we talked a little bit earlier about how much, or I know I talked a little bit earlier about how much I like the Arizona forecheck. They're playing really aggressive, but if you're having aggressive forecheck, you need an aggressive back check. And Arizona did not back check there, you know, leaving your defender in a 2-on-1 situation. They made a practice routine pass and an easy shot on goal for Sorley, who got overwhelmed.
Absolutely, Rosemary. It's one of those things that, like, if you're going to have a strong, kind of what you talked about, if you're going to have that, you need something to back it up, especially in situations like that. Like, you left him open for a tee-up. Like,
and
let's be real.
You want to be able to rely on Sorley back there, but, I mean, that 2-on-1 situation is just not enough. LaValle gets the goal as Utah converts on their third power play of the night. They're 1 for 3 tonight. As the Arizona penalty kill starting to get worn down. Now they're in a hole. But Brooke, you know what they say about a 2-0 lead.
Nothing worse in hockey.
Nothing worse in hockey. It's the most dangerous lead, primarily because once teams are up 2-0, they stop worrying about, having a strong offense. They start to turtle a little bit. Arizona flashes the physicality. A little bit of back and forth there. Looks like they might need to take a face-off. The puck might have glanced into the bench there for a moment. 5:35 left to play. Utah up by 2. Utah struggling to break out of the D zone. Here's Brady. Pass ahead, hits Schultz in stride. Schultz over the blue line. Quick shot there. D'Antonano can't glove it. Opportunity there. Allen just couldn't quite get it. D'Antonano still off her laurels.
Fantastic look right there.
Puck still in play. Here's Brydell. Brydell, great pass to Schultz. Schultz can't keep her stick on it. Unlucky there as they're headed the other way. Brooke, we talked about it earlier. D'Antonano is not keeping hold of these rebounds. She has so little puck control. Arizona there, able to capitalize on that, but just not enough.
Absolutely. I think that's a situation where you know that is a weak point, that rebound, and you need to start using it. You really do, and I'm hoping we see that here.
I mean, we saw Brydell crashing the net.
Absolutely.
When you're anticipating that rebound. And it worked out. Arizona got 2 good looks there. I think if they keep it up, they're going to get on the scoreboard.
Absolutely.
Arizona breaking through the blue line. A little bit of chippiness back and forth. Puck in that near corner. Those zip it cross ice. Find Howell. Puck still loose. Again, D'Antonano leaning on that poke check. 1-on-1, Allen's going to get to show the defensive prowess. Manages to break up the play somewhat. Great pass there. Just unable to capitalize on it. Now here's Arizona. 2-on-2, great play drawn up there. Carson got a really neat opportunity, but D'Antonano, her weak spot is not there. She covers it up. And Arizona remains scoreless. I really liked that play, Brooke.
I
think it was Brydell who left it for Carson. Maybe it was Thompson who left it for Carson.
I believe it was Brydell.
I mean, break through, open up their defense, and then give your puck to your leading scorer. And it's the first time they've done it tonight. I want to see it again. It worked so well.
Absolutely. I think we're seeing a lot more offensive pressure right now, and it's really great to see. I think a 2-1 lead, again, most dangerous place in hockey, really important. And right now they are on the power play.
Penalty number 7, Megan Fish, 2 minutes for interference. University
Arizona picks up their third power play on the night, seeing if they can match Utah and convert.
This is the time, if anything, you have that.
Ooh, a great opportunity there. The rebound is out, and the puck finds the net. Arizona gets on the scoreboard off of a beautiful shot by none other than Grace McKegg. Brooke, what happened there?
That was one of those where it's too many bodies in the slot. You don't know what's going on, and McKegg just was able to slap it past. I don't know if McKegg's gonna get it. I think it's between her and Miller. Is McKegg gonna get it? Watching the replay back, I can't even tell ya. Hopefully the PA will tell us.
And goal! Power play goal scored by Grace McKegg, number 61. Assist to 94, Savannah Allen, and number 7, Zoyza Miller. That is McKegg from Allen and Miller at 16-16 in the second.
All right, and McKegg did get it there. Brilliant, brilliant work. It's one of those, we kind of talked about it, where there's too many bodies in the slot. You're relying on a goalie like this. You know the rebound is a weak spot for her.
She can't take care of the rebound,
exactly.
And they found that weakness.
Exactly. Brilliant, brilliant play.
I'd like to see Arizona go back to that well. I mean, it's easier when you have that 5-on-4 as they convert on their first power play tonight. You know, it's easier when you have the player advantage to just crash, and then something gets through. But I want to see more of that. It worked out well, and they managed to pick apart D'Antuono's weaknesses pretty convincingly. Verderber back behind the net. Quick chip shot there by Carson, but easily gloved by D'Antuono.
I think this is exactly the shift that the Wildcats need to kind of turn it on. I mean, with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left here in the second and a whole 20 minutes left, this is when you do not let up.
I think
you've gotten past the hump of getting that first goal. Now anything is possible. They need to, I hate saying lock in because it's so unprofessional.
They gotta lock in.
But they gotta lock in. And here is the time.
Puck loose near the crease. I think the home crowd agrees with you. A huge pop-off after that goal. I think everyone in the barn was holding their breath in anticipation. Chip shot there. Looks like they were maybe trying to induce a rebound off of D'Antuono.
And if you're watching at home and you're only seeing the other side where it looks like there's no one here, that side is just blocked off. They're all on this side, but you can't see that from the broadcast, and I'm realizing it looks like we're talking like there's no one here.
But we are serious. These women's crowds, they are passionate about hockey.
Absolutely.
If you want to be part of them, women's get next game. It's a huge one. November 20th against in-state rivals, the biggest game they're going to play all year against the Sun Devils. And as always, games are free. We've got about 100 people in the arena tonight. Let's try and up those numbers as much as we can. February 20th. It's going to be a doubleheader. Quick shot there, just a little wide. It'll be a doubleheader. The women's team plays ASU in the daytime.
I believe that's at 1.
At 1. And then at night, the men's team gets to take on ASU for the chance to take home the Cactus Cup for the 8th year in a row. If you don't have it on your calendar already, February 20th, that's Hockey Day.
That is Hockey Day. And if you're just can't get enough, February 21st will be the last game, home game of the season for your Wildcats. The Women Ice Cats will take on ASU again at 1 p.m. on the 21st. Show up, show out, or come on the broadcast and hang out with us for the last time for the season. Your choice.
Some great looks while we were chatting there. Arizona seems to have figured something out. They're starting to put D'Antuono under a lot of pressure, and they're finally having their big momentum getter. They're starting to stay on offense for longer. They're trying to lessen the turnovers. It seems to be working. They've just got to keep it up. Arizona 1, Utah 2. Both teams 1 for 3 on the power play, and with 3 penalties a pop. Teams are about as even as they get. Here's Allen. Pass back on the blue line. Here's McCagg. McCagg whiffs on it. Tried to get it ahead. Looks like to Jeffs. From the blue line. Pesca, quick shot there. Sent a little bit wide. McCagg on the weak side. Shot in. Rebound covered up by D'Antonano. Every time McCagg gets the puck, it's electric. I feel every time it gets on her stick, I'm holding my breath, waiting for the shot. .48 seconds left to go in this second period. The Wildcats look to climb back into the runnings, tie it up as they are down by just a goal. Utes ringing around the board, give it straight to Verderber. Great chip pass there, but Brady got wrapped up in the crease. Puck loose back behind the net. Chip shot there, deflects off a body. Here's Bridell. She can't quite hold on to it. 2 in the corner, cross ice pass. Couldn't find anybody. The Utes will rocket one cross ice and then flip it. Arizona back behind the net. There's Thompson, chips it ahead to Schultz. Schultz under pressure, sends it back to Verderber, and in turn to Thompson.
With 20 minutes left to go, the Wildcats are down by 1 and look to come back in the final period. Stay with us, and we'll be back to bring you the final period from the Tucson Arena in just a bit. Thank you for tuning in. This is Wildcat Hockey. Welcome back, Wildcat hockey fans, to the Tucson Arena. For the third period, the Utah Utes are going to be up 2-1 to your Wildcats.
My name is
feeling about
Rosemary
it?
James Stewart. I'm joined up here in the booth by
Brooke Barker.
and Brooke. I'm feeling good. The Wildcats gave us something to look forward to. They're near the end of the second period. A great, stellar goal, taking apart D'Antonano to put the Wildcats on the board. But D'Antonano has been great tonight. I was watching the replay board in between periods, and she's made some ludicrous saves. She's been rolling over on her stomach, on her back, doing barrel rolls and flips in the crease. And she's only let up one goal tonight. The biggest obstacle the Cats are going to have to face before fighting themselves, before fighting the defense, before stopping goals is getting past D'Antonano. They have to pick apart her weaknesses or else they're going to stay at one goal.
Rosemary, that was not a question. That was a statement. But yes, I agree 100%. This is really where we need to see the Wildcats kind of show us that offensive power that they have. You see it in the stats. You see it in the highlights. You need to see it here. They know that this goalie struggles on the weak side when it comes to rebounds, and this is where you 100 billion% need to capitalize.
You have to capitalize on those things. And again, the Cats look to do it again. Pesca, early turnover, ends up with Brady. Poke check away. Scooped up by Schultz. Behind the net with Brady. Schultz tries to get a pass out. Looks like it goes off the mask of D'Antonano. Puck loose in the crease. Brady can't get a stick on it. They'll head back the other way. Here's Pesca. Not a great pass there. Gives it right up. But she'll fight back for it. Right her wrong. See if she can get the pass off. A little bit of a scrum along the near boards. Brady gets a stick on it. Puck loose behind Utah's nets. They'll get to gather and see about going the other way. Under some pressure, they'll give it up. Zeshuk under pressure, just couldn't figure out what to do with it. Tried to get rid of it, but Arizona too heavy on the pressure. You ever get tired of hearing me say pressure?
Pressure.
Two go down in open ice. No call there, just unfortunate circumstances. Both teams still going back and forth. Neither team has the momentum coming out of the locker room. Here's Thompson. Pass across to Verderber. Verderber with some room to work. Tries to get a pass in for Maine. Maine can't get it, though. There's Thompson. She'll chip it away. Ends up with a Ute. Carson tries to get some stick work going. Ends up working in her favor as Arizona has possession here. Schultz over to Carson. Carson, quick shot there. Gloved by D'Antonano. Excuse me, that was Howell to Carson, and Carson gets the shot off. D'Antonano has been rock solid tonight. Not going to let a one-off like that get past her.
Absolutely. Taking a look at her stats, we're seeing 10 games played and a save percentage of looks like a .877, which isn't bad.
That kind of save percentage.
With only 10 games, though.
2-on-1 opportunity there. Sorely, looks like she kicks it out. Yeah, you're dealing with such a small sample size, just 10 games. And on top of that, you know, college hockey is very fluky. You can be a rock-solid goalie and still have a pretty shabby-looking save percentage. I think about the men's team with Hayden Gould. He's someone I consider a very rock-solid goalie who doesn't really let anything get the better of him and challenges a lot of angles, gets a lot of good looks, and still at the end of the season every year, his save percentage, you know, usually around .890. On paper, that doesn't look so good, but truth be told, your starter goalie, they're playing against harder competition. They're on the ice longer, so more flukes are going to happen.
Absolutely, and just more and more games. Like, that's how math works, I guess, is the best way to put it. They don't hire us to do math, I'll tell you that much.
That's right. We talk. There's a reason neither of us are math majors.
Yep.
Or STEM majors, for that matter.
Yep. here in the face-off, we've seen kind of a couple different centers kind of take this face-off. Most recently, number 12, Layla Schultz. Rosemary, who do you think is kind of their strongest? Obviously, like, they had their top line and all that, but from a winning face-offs perspective, who do you think is their strongest center in that regard?
Bad giveaway there. Quick shot finds the back of the net. Just such a rough giveaway right in the center. One of those makes you wish you could turn back time. Entirely avoidable. Utah goes up by 2 goals, 3-1. To answer your question, I don't know if I really have seen any, standout, stellar center in the circle. I don't know if any center has had a convincing, tenure in the faceoff circle, but solely because Arizona really struggles to keep possession after the faceoff. Even if they're winning in the circle theoretically, it doesn't really convert into pressure, and so it's hard to see when, someone's in that circle doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The goal there scored by Patterson, there's no other way to put it, a brutal giveaway right in the center. Patterson gets the goal unassisted. Pesca dishes it away. Allen sends it ahead to Brady. Backhand pass by Brydell. Puck is loose. D'Antonano just couldn't hold on to the rebound, but not enough Cats to get good looks off. Utah is still up 3-1 with 16 minutes left to play. Brooke, I hate to put you on the spot like this, but what do you think Arizona's biggest problem has been tonight? I mean, they've had standout moments, but so far it just seems like those standout moments aren't converting. Why do you think that is?
I would say kind of the biggest thing that I've noticed, and this is kind of throughout the season, is just kind of passes not connecting and kind of giving turnovers in that way, especially when it's such an important moment as in a defensive position or even in an offensive position when you're trying to send it to the crease there. It's really, I would say that's the biggest issue I'm seeing right now.
The giveaways as the season have gone on have become, I think they've improved on it, and even just in this game you've seen they've given up less of those opportunities, just passing it away and, oh no, the Utes have it. But, sometimes it culminates in that giveaway right there that lets Utah bury you 2-0. You go from being right in the game to one bad pass puts you back in the hole and you're on your back foot again. Not where Arizona wants to be.
100%.
Arizona has it along the near boards. Pass to Saarinen. Saarinen sends it ahead. Little pass there, broken up. Carson putting some work in, trying to get the puck out. Some good stick work from both teams. Arizona almost has possession. Great pass there, little poke in on D'Antonano. Puck is loose. Neither team gets a hold of it until Utah comes out with it. Arizona's going to keep it on sides, try and maximize chaos.
A little bit of extracurriculars along the boards. No call from the ref, though.
D'Antonano struggles to freeze it, but finally gets it. Arizona, a very chaotic team. I mean, to call them chaotic is almost an understatement. They live, they thrive off of, making things difficult for their opponents. You see it when they're on the PK. They're constantly stacking and trying to force the forecheck to make the play happen somewhere else. Super chaotic. It just doesn't always work out in their favor. And it hasn't yet in a big way tonight, other than their big goal scored by number 61, Grace McKegg. take a face-off here in Utah's defensive zone. Utah has it along the near boards. Little pass there into the neutral zone. Allen has it back behind the net across to Pesca. Pesca dishes one in, can't quite find anybody, glances off Maine, but ultimately ends up with the Utes. Wildcats are gonna dish it in, go for a change, get some fresh legs out. A big improvement, you know, we talk about, you know, the new year, and it's easy to talk about all the things you want to get better at in the new year, but one thing you have to be thankful for in 2026 is that Arizona has such a deep bench this year. In years past, it feels like they've only outfitted maybe 11 players a game. They played with a short bench every single game last year. And though they're not at a point where they're, you know, overflowing full 20, all suited up, they still have a deep bench that they can pull from and some pretty standard lines that allow them to stay pretty fresh.
Absolutely, and you're kind of, and you see this if you're not following us on Instagram, what are you doing? First of all, but if you're seeing that, you definitely saw some pickups happening over the break, and I think that's kind of what Caitlin Hogan, Coach Hogan is trying to build here at the U, is kind of that. That was kind of a pun. With the Ice Cats here is kind of that growth mindset and kind of growing the team and growing, because you're not only growing a fan base here, you're growing a team that has such a big legacy as this team does. And you start with a short bench and you grind it out, and that's really what we saw a lot of last year. And now you're kind of seeing the team settle into kind of that place and like where they're at. And obviously, I think it's a 20-person bench right now. So you want to that's not even true. I think it's like 16 people.
16 sounds right.
Yeah. So you kind of seeing them kind of find their players and find their lines as they come is really, really great to see. And
oof.
Ooh.
Delayed penalty there. Arizona is going to go on the PK as Utah gets their 4th power play of the night. That's a really good way to put it, though, Brooke. I mean, Arizona has been focused on this growth mindset. Coach Caitlin Hogan has done a great job at growing the program, building the program. Again, last year they played with a short bench. This year, I mean, New Year's resolution, by the time the end of 2026 comes around, I think Arizona's going to have a full roster. We've had a lot of change up. There were some players who started with this team who aren't here today, some players who have, you know, changed from year to year, but the program just keeps growing, and I think Arizona's going to be in a good spot come 2026-27. Sadanen gets the 2 for tripping. That puts Utah on the power play. Tripping, a penalty that explains itself. You can't trip somebody. You got skates on your feet. Come on. There's no other way to put it.
You got skates on your feet, come on.
Pesca goes down early, no goal. They'll play on.
Right off the pipes there, sorely saved.
What could have been defensive disaster after Pesca went down way before the play. Basically took herself out of it. Sorely, you know, maybe get some flurry action going, thank the posts and Utah back behind their own net. Trying to break through with this power play. They've got about a minute left on it. Backhand pass, beautifully finding the slot, but shut down by it looked like Elena Glover there. Heavy on the forecheck gives Arizona possession behind the Utah net. But with 3 there, Arizona's really just buying themselves time. About 20 seconds left on this power play. Zushek beats 1 defender, beats 2. Nearly beats 3 after a big physical play and a cross-check way after the play. Refs don't see it. They're watching the puck.
No call by the ref on that.
And Arizona gonna get a tripping call there. Some strange back and forth there by the refs, not calling a cross-check straight to the teeth, but a dubious tripping penalty. It's going to put Glover in the box for another 2 minutes as Utah will get their 5th power play of the night.
University of Arizona penalty, number 20, Elena Glover, 2 minutes, tripping. Wildcats are on the penalty kill.
If you're confused as we are earlier, Elena Glover is wearing number 19. She is on our roster as number 20. We have also been being tripped up by that there. Tripped up. Haha.
You're very punny tonight.
What can I say? I'm so glad to be back.
Keeping the energy in here light. Arizona burning off time on the power play. Quick shot there. Sorley trying to cover it. Puck's loose. Utah comes out with it from the blue line. 1T. Gloved by Sorley, who gets to flash the leather a little bit.
Rosemary, with 9 minutes left and Utah up by 2, what would be the best move by Arizona, knowing they do play Utah again? However, it will be on neutral ice up in Peoria.
I wouldn't say that this is a foolproof strategy, but Utah's mad right now. They're playing pretty intense, but kind of sloppy. We've seen it from Zushek. She's just kind of fed up, fired up. And I think there's something to be capitalized on there. We saw McKegg do it in the first period. You get someone so mad they get thrown out of the game. Let's do that again. Let's try and induce that kind of rage that gives you a power play. And I thought they had it there, you know, but sometimes you just have to bite someone else's stick and not get a penalty for it. Stuff happens. But again, Arizona just has to capitalize that. They're turning Utah frantic. Schultz able to capitalize there. You know, she's putting on crazy pressure. I'm sure at this point Utah feels suffocated with how hard the forecheck's been all tonight. Obviously, you don't want to see it devolve into anything more than, you know, general chippiness, but take advantage as best you can. Pass back is lost, meaning Utah has to regather. Looks like Arizona got a change. Quick shot there, gloved by Sorley. 8 minutes left to go. Not a lot of time. Arizona's window slowly closing as Utah digs in. Brooke, what do you see? I mean, I've talked extensively about what I want to see them do to get this goal, but, you know, what do you feel like they have to do to get out of this hole?
I feel like it's kind of, I feel like we say the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
But kind of, now they're back to full strength. I think big drop with no call from the refs. I think kind of similar to what you said. If there's one thing about this Arizona team, they are scrappy. And that's what you want to see. I think this is exactly when you kind of need to dig in.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Even. McKegg back behind the net. Tries to get a quick shot off. D'Antonano can't get the rebound, but Utah takes care of it anyways. Pass there, doesn't reach its intended target, but means Arizona has to recollect. Here's Sadanen. No supporting cast. She can't pass it off to anyone because there's nobody there. At this point, when you're in that hole 2-0, the reason it's so dangerous is that once you're down by 2, you can start to, ease off the defense and just full throttle offense. Arizona's not doing that right now. They need to push into the zone and really take what's theirs. They've been arguably probably the better team tonight. I can't say so definitively. D'Antonano's been phenomenal in net. But Arizona hasn't played like they should be down 2 goals. They need to take the advantages they're given and capitalize. Here's Carson, quick shot, gets the rebound. And it's lost. Utah gets to go the other way. Puck slips all the way around. 6 minutes 30 left. It's lost near the near boards. Arizona has it, trying to get a pass up to Carson, but can't quite find her. The puck will go into the rafters. She'll get a face-off. We'll take this face-off at center ice. Goals tonight, McKegg scored 1 in the second period. Arizona a chance here, but not enough. Utah manages to take care of it, but there's Brady, breaks it up. Puck pretty loose back behind the net, but Utah has it. Trying to skate through the zone, they'll elect to just chip it. Goals from Utah. Sharman scored her 9th on the season. Put her ahead. Breakaway opportunity here, one-on-one. And some great stick work there to take care of it. Sharman scored her 9th. LaValle scored 1. And Patterson scored 1 to make up Utah's 3. Arizona gets a shot by circumstance. Just goes headed in that direction. Glover almost loses her bearings there, catches an edge, just off balance a little bit. Arizona heavy on the forecheck, pokes the puck out, 5 minutes. Maine battling along the near boards, she can't come out with it. Trailing back for it, here's Glover. Glover gets mixed up behind the net. Puck's headed the other way. Arizona no chance to make a play on it. Utah playing cat and mouse. Sadanen. A huge hold and no call. I can't believe that. Sadanen in a headlock. Deemed not egregious enough. There's Carson. Carson making some moves, not quite enough, but the puck's still loose. There's Verderber. Shot there, Howell finds the chest pad. Little bit of back and forth, and it goes skating towards the net. D'Antonano covers it up. 4 minutes left to play. Arizona's window is closing. They've got to bear down here. Get something on the board, or else they'll be headed to neutral ice. 0-1 with Utah. Zashuk, great centering pass, broken up by Howell. Two-on-one opportunity. Arizona has to do something here. Dish to Carson, one-on-one, quick shot sent wide. Arizona still has room to work. A pass there, just can't find Pesca. They'll chip it in, try and stay on offense, 3 minutes 15. Arizona stays on offense, but doesn't really have any pressure here. Pesca on the forecheck. Puck ekes out. Arizona back to collect. There's Bridell. Pass across. Over the blue line. All by herself, no one to pass to. Here's Brady. Brady can't find a lane to get the puck out. Schultz comes and helps. Here's Glover. Glover has it, quick shot there off of a body, but nobody there to get it on the weak side. Icing, 2 minutes and 15. 2 minutes left to play. Wildcats gonna call a timeout here as they try and draw up a play, get something going, get on the board so they can take it back, which is 2 minutes and 15 left to go. Tonight's player of the game for the Cats, pretty evident unless something groundbreaking happens in these last 2 minutes. I'd give it to McKegg. McKegg has played phenomenal all night. She has the lone goal. She induced an ejection. You know, she's really putting her heart and soul into this. Brooke, who would you say Utah's player of the game has been tonight?
Good question, Rosemary.
My goalie heart makes me think D'Antunano.
I was gonna agree with you there, but I think she has been. I think there has been, now with this point in the game, I think U of A has had a lot of very good looks, and I think they're just not. I think she's very, very, very good at what she does. I'll tell you that much.
She made 2 stellar saves in the first period and has been rock solid since.
Absolutely.
She's only let in 1, and Arizona has had pressure. It's not like she's back there just holding cupcakes. Like, she has had some serious good saves. Centering pass, no one can hold on to it. Here's Bridell in the near corner. Verderber, pass across. Verderber wants it back. Instead, they'll dish it all the way up to Brady. Quick chip shot there, sent just high, and the puck gets out. The Cats decide to leave an open net so they can get 6 out. Three up on the forecheck. Trying to suffocate Utah, and still they end up in a one-on-one situation with the wide open net. Just barely misses it. Arizona, minute 30 left to go. Something needs to happen here. Arizona looking to go the other way. They can't put a pass together. Utah gets another shot. Thompson giving it all up. She's dropped down twice.
Throwing the body for this one.
Throwing the body.
1 minute to play in the third.
1 minute to go. 30 seconds. We need to see a goal. Here's Glover skating hard. Gets a shot. Quick shot sent just wide. Opportunity to pick it up. Here's Thompson. Thompson, quick shot sent wide again. Arizona has to make something happen. Carson, tied up on the play, gets rid of a stick. 30 seconds. into the O-zone, quick shot. Howell finds the back of the net. Arizona's back in it. 2-2-3. Couldn't have gotten a better chance. Lily Howell executes, finds the back of the net, pops the bottle. Arizona's back in this with 25 seconds left to go. They're going to put Sorley back between the pipes. Something has to happen here. Arizona not going to put Sorley back between the pipes. They need a goal here. They've got 6 skaters on. 30 seconds. Here's Thompson. 20 seconds. Schultz can't hold on to it. Puck goes the other way. 10 seconds. Glover, pass ahead. Arizona over the blue line. D'Antonano's not going to freeze it. 1 second left, and it's not enough.
And that will be all from the Tucson Arena as your U of A Wildcats lose by a score of 2 to University of Utah's 3 to end this home game. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. And from everyone high above the ice, we'll see you next time. This is Wildcat Hockey.